Hello, welcome to my website. My name is Marcy Trustman. I would like to give you an overview to my website, War and Disillusionment. For this project, I am focusing on the war poetry of 6 soldier poets from World War I. The poets that I am looking at are Rupert Brooke, Alan Seeger, John McCrae, Wilfred Owen, Siegfried Sassoon, and Robert Graves. To begin, admittedly, for some people, the phrase war poetry is an oxymoron. War is manly, dirty, and deadly, and poetry is feminine, prissy, and affected. Some people might think, how could something as silly and little as poetry convey something as big and momentous as war? However, the soldier poets of World War I were not men who were sitting on the sidelines, drinking tea, spinning tales of glory. They were men who were engaged in battle. They were men with guns, living in trenches, seeing fighting every day. They were experiencing gas attacks in the first parts of chemical warfare. They were experiencing all the brutality, cruelty, and death that the war to end all wars had to offer. It's important to remember that language has power, and the beauty and rhetoric of poetry were weapons some soldiers used to express their complex and powerful emotions about their deadly and sometimes exciting situation. Even in the most horrific of times, the human desire to express oneself and create art is essential to life and sanity. In such an insane time of mass destruction of life and property, perhaps the act of creation was the only sane action that these men could take. While working with this project, I'm very excited to investigate how these very different poets express themselves when writing about their experience in their own place, in their own time. Each writer brings not only his own experience, but his own style. And each poetry, to me, seems like a small time capsule to a war that ended over 100 years ago, but whose repercussions are still felt today. I'm excited that through the examination of war poetry, a modern audience can gain a better understanding of life as a soldier in wartime. Within the project, I'm examining significant poems from the 6 different soldier poets, moving chronologically through the war. Each poet's page is a snapshot of the poet's experience and attitudes towards the war in which they fought. Over the course of the 6 poets' pages, I hope you'll see that a pattern emerges. The longer the war lasted, the greater the impact of the horrors upon the minds and the hearts of the soldiers. I found, and hopefully you'll see as well, that it proved impossible to remain optimistic and patriotic in the face of carnage. It also proved impossible for 4 out of the 6 poets to survive the war. Overall, I would like my project to convey that the war experience not only was different for each individual soldier, but the attitude towards the war and the acceptance of its carnage shifted over time, from patriotism and the excitement for adventure to the disillusionment that results from the senselessness of the pain and the vast loss of life. I think that war poetry gives readers an opportunity to examine this human element of history, not as cold facts, names, and dates, but through the eyes of one who actually lived it. Thank you. I hope you find something interesting and valuable in my website as you check it out.